Great. Welcome everyone to Tuesday Night Mental Wellness. I have the famous Dr. Lindsey Elmore in the house. I am Sarah Hein, and we collectively together are both here to serve each and every one of you, whether you're on live or I know thousands of you will be listening to this recording. So listen, we've got some hot topics we've picked out tonight, and I just thought that Dr. Lindsey is one of the best people to answer this because she is the doctor of pharma. I mean, she has got such heart and soul around science and understanding a holistic approach to human health, and her background is outstanding. I'm not even reading a bio. I am just doing this off the cuff. But she has had some serious background working for Young Living, and you were basically like the Dr. Sean of Young Living. Is that correct? Like you were.
Well, Sean has some additional skill sets that I don't have. I have never done product formulation, but
Right.
I have a bachelor's in chemistry and a doctorate in pharmacy, and pharmacists receive a lot of training about how to talk to regular, average, everybody about drugs and supplements. And so I can explain medications and supplements in my sleep. I can, people were asking me when I first came on board with Amare, they were like, how did you learn all of this product information so fast? And I was like, well, there's two things. Number one, I'm a pharmacist. I literally have a doctorate in learn the supplement. But number two, I want everybody listening to this call right now to hear me very clearly. Tonight, what I am going to be doing, you can do too, because all I am going to be doing is reading the website in an entertaining way. I have Amare's website. I'm telling you, people think they're like, that is not true. And you go and you look at Amare's website while I'm teaching tonight, and you're going to go, I can do that too. So if you want to pull up the field kit for the Grape Edge, as well as the website, you're going to see like, oh, I can totally duplicate that. So
exactly. Lindsey,
yes.
I'm so glad that you said that, because so many times people think you have to be a nutritionist or a scientist. And even though I took Dr. Sean's mental wellness certification, I didn't officially get the certification, so I don't even put it on my thing, which I'm eventually going to do. But my husband's like, why would you jinx yourself? I got all the way to the top without any certifications or any degrees. So we are a great like yin and yang, because listen, it doesn't matter what your background is. If you love Amare, you can share Amare, right? But what we are here to do is answer questions. What I love about what Dr. Sean has done here at Amare, and what the amazing corporate staff that we have, is they've created a platform to educate all of you, and they've given all of us no matter what our background is, if you're a healthcare professional or you're someone like me that was just a very passionate entrepreneur that loved serving people. It doesn't matter if you're anywhere in between there, they've given us the resources to educate people to confidently share this. And that's what Lindsey and I are going to do tonight. Is we're going to help you to confidently, whether you're just, starting out on the products, you're, building a business, you're just wanting to share this with a loved one. So Lindsey, let's talk Grape Edge.
Okay. And
on this new Grape Edge,
I am going to dive into Grape Edge, but I really want to edify what you just said. Listen to me, friends. There is someone who is waiting and hoping and praying to hear about Amare from you. Not from Sarah, not from Lindsey, not from Pat, not from corporate staff. They're wanting to hear it from you. You just have to be bold and reach out to them and let them know that this is a possibility. They don't know until you tell them, and they don't even know who I am, And so don't feel like that you've got to wait and delay because of whatever. It's just a limiting belief, everybody. So, all right.
Amen.
Grape Edge. Grape Edge is a nootropic. Okay. What the heck is a nootropic? So a nootropic, that's spelled Nootropics. Okay. Nootropics are compounds or supplements that enhance our cognitive performance. If you look back to the Greek word, nous means mine and troponin means towards. So these are supplements that are towards the mind, right? And so when we think of these two Greek words, typically what it refers to is executive function. So all the stuff that kind of happens in your frontal lobe, all the, I always say the frontal lobe loves spreadsheets, and so if you are trying to get some mental clarity that's going to help you to understand a spreadsheet, that's executive function, and that's what nootropics work on. They also work on memory, decision-making, and creativity, and goal setting and goal accomplishment can be enhanced by nootropics, okay? Here's the thing, though. Most of the nootropics that we have out there are not super safe for us. So we have the stimulant medicines like Ritalin and Adderall and modafinil. There are synthetic compounds that enhance some neurotransmitters. And then the most classic of all of the nootropics is caffeine. Caffeine is the most classic nootropic of all. And so nootropics work by getting into your brain and causing an enhancement of all of your neurotransmitters. So Edge is an all-natural nootropic, and it does three things. It supports motivation primarily, and it also helps with mood and metabolism. It has 3 ingredients. That's the only thing you got to remember. 3 ingredients: mango leaf, lychee fruit, and palm fruit. And the 3 of those work together, right? And so the mango leaf is why you feel Edge working so darn fast, is because there's fast acting mental energy. You're going to get that laser level focus that you're not going to get interrupted. You're going to have better clarity, better learning, and improved workouts and recovery. Okay. So that's the mango leaf.
Can you bathe in it?
I know, right? Can you give me a gallon? I need a gallon.
I just want to can we just absorb it in every way? And it tastes freaking awesome.
It does taste amazing. And we're going to talk about the taste in a little bit, because here's something else that's going to make you want to bathe in Edge. So the palm fruit that's in there helps the body's ability to regenerate neurons. So let's say that you have gotten into the stinking thinking, you got into stinking thinking. Yep. And let's say that you have maybe gotten into some bad habits. Maybe you need some change in your life. Okay. Well, in the brain, there's this concept of something called neuroplasticity. And the brain is always plastic. The brain will always change itself if you are giving it the right input. And so what we say in functional medicine is what fires together wires together. So
that's good.
Yeah, what fires together wires together. And that's why that you want to be in this room right now with some wonderful, powerful, encouraging women, and not I don't know, hanging out at wherever where people are not positive and encouraging. And so what wires together fires together. So if you are wanting to enhance your ability to change and shift and be dynamic and all the things, you have to build new neuronal pathways, right? This is how cravings for addiction can be lessened, is the longer you're away from smoking the cigarettes or drinking too much, whatever it is, those neuronal connections are eventually going to start falling away. And then you start building new neuronal connections. Okay. So that's what the palm fruit does. It's going to help the good neurons to fire together so that they can wire together. And so you're enhancing your brain's ability to regenerate neurons. And the palm fruit makes the mango leaf and the lychee fruit work better together. Okay, lychee fruit decreases fatigue, and improves endurance. And one thing that I think gets left out is, this is something that's going to make everybody who's like sitting on the fence going, I don't know, they're going to go, yes, yes, tell me more about that. So Edge also, the lychee fruit over time shreds belly fat. So you're getting rid of that stubborn belly fat, and it lessens the appearance of fine lines, wrinkles, and brown age spots. How many of you just
I told you we need to bathe in this.
Yes, I know.
We need like little like pods that we can just dissolve in like a hot tub.
I know, right? I know. I do.
We're going to work on that with Dr. Sean.
Sarah, I am going to go to Google right after this, and I am going to buy some citric acid and some baking soda, make some Edge bath bombs. Can you
seriously? And you know, just listening to you, I'll drop a 2 in the chat box if you feel like that is miraculous hope. You know, good Lord has given us so much of what we need to help our bodies restore and heal and be at its best without stimulants, without caffeine. You can find an energy drink anywhere. There's a bazillion of them, and then most of them aren't safe. But to hear what you just said, that there's natural resources, things that we're not taught, and it's so simplistic, 3 ingredients that, look at all the 2s, it's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you tell us a little difference? Is there a lot of difference between the benefits of the grape edge versus the watermelon edge?
So the benefits are about the same, but the flavor is different, obviously, and the sweeteners are different. And I was talking with Sean about this because in the watermelon edge, you have xylitol, you have ribundicide M, which comes from cane sugar, and then there are those are the two sweeteners. But then in grape edge, because you know, our chairman of the board, Hip Tran, who founded the company, he went to Sean and said, we got to have a product in grape. We got to have a product in grape. And he was like, grape is so hard to make the flavor right. And you can buy artificial grape flavor and make it taste, you know, like a grape Jolly Rancher, but that's not the direction we wanted to go. And so what Sean was explaining to me is that the reason grapes taste like grapes is because of a naturally occurring ingredient inside of the grape called tartaric acid. And tartaric acid, just remember, if you can't remember tartaric acid, just remember the tart. That's it. That's what makes grapes taste that like tarty, fruity flavor. And so the problem is, in order to bring out that tartness, it is very, very challenging. And so what he did was looked for sweeteners that would enhance that tartaric acid. And so what he ended up choosing was first stevia, but stevia on its own, if you use it too much, it gets bitter. It gets bitter and it gets bitter quickly. Then instead of just using a plain xylitol, he used birch tree extract, which provides xylitol. So Marcy, the difference between xylitol and birch tree extract is really minimal. It's just the source of where it comes from, but it is the same final product, right? It is xylitol, which, by the way, xylitol is extremely poisonous to dogs. So don't give your dog Edge, even though who gives their dog antibiotics every single day? This chick right here. So I am telling you, listen, I give my dog antibiotics every single day. I have a 3rd generation, totally naturally reared Vizsla. And so she is not on flea and tick medicine. She's totally naturally reared. And I was talking to her holistic vet, and she was like, you know, her vet literally looks at me and goes, this dog is so healthy. What do you do? And I was like, I work on her microbiome. And she's like, that's why she stays so healthy. Like, it's so crazy. Ticks will literally fall off of her. They will fall off of her. I will see
from the antibiotics.
I don't know if it's from the antibiotics, but it's because her immune system is so healthy.
So
And her
high.
and that's how probiotics work to make us healthy.
Wow.
Is it shoves out the good probiotics shove out all the candida, and it shoves.
Who would have known that we were talking about dogs now, you guys? Because now it's blowing up. People want to know the dosage, so we have to say.
I know. So how much?
Right?
So
I have doodles. Come on, give the doodle.
I know.
I got a 15 pound and a 25 pound. What's the poundage? What's the dose?
And here's the thing too, the way that you feel about your dog and your dog wanting to be healthy, I want you to have that equal feeling for yourself.
Oh yeah.
We have so many examples of treating our dogs better than ourselves. We buy the dog the organic food, the raw food, the everything, all the things. And so what do? My dog is about 40 pounds, and I give her about a half a scoop of antibiotics in her food.
All right, hear that, everybody?
All right, there you go. And so,
so like a quarter scoop for maybe a dog half that size.
Yeah. And I think my friend
I do omegas. Do you do omegas? Omegas.
Oh yeah, you can totally do the omegas. Absolutely. Just squirt a little bit. So Mary Fast, my friend, says she does a quarter of a teaspoon for her miniature dachshund. How cute. Mary, I never knew you had a miniature dachshund. My first dog I ever had was a miniature dachshund, and people say that they do omegas for the dogs. Yes, omega-3 fatty acids are so good. And in functional medicine, so how do you heal a leaky gut, right? So there are 5 steps to healing a functional medicine. I feel like I'm teaching you a comp plan training. Focus on 5 in 15 days, everybody. Focus on 5 in 15 days. Focus on 5 in 15 days. Those are your marching instructions. I want to see everybody focus on 5 in 15 days.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
So how do you heal leaky gut? Okay. First, you have to, it's called the 5R protocol. Okay.
Yep.
So first you must remove your gut triggers. Honey child, your supplements are not going to work if you continue eating crap that you know you shouldn't eat, right?
That's right.
You have to remove the gut triggers. Then you have to repopulate using prebiotics and probiotics, and you're going to get some prebiotics inside of your Grape Edge because you have your isofiber, which has the isomalto oligosaccharides. And then, so we have to repopulate with good probiotics and good prebiotics. Then you have to repair the lining of the gut. Well, there's a supplement protocol for what repairs the lining of the gut. So you're going to get glutamine, which is the primary food source for your, what are called your enterocytes, the cells that line your lining of your gut. Well, guess what product contains glutamine? Antibiotics. And so you've got your antibiotics there, you got your glutamine. Then you need a really high quality vitamin D3 supplement. There's a zillion of them on the market, but hear me loud and clear, friends. D3, not D2. D3, not D2. Why? Because studies have shown that when you supplement with vitamin D2 and D3, they initially start to go together, but then eventually your vitamin D2 is going to level off. Your vitamin D3 can continue to grow. Plus vitamin D2 is synthetic, vitamin D3 is natural. And so that's why you see vitamin D3 cholecalciferol inside of VitaGBX and kids VitaGBX. And so we have that there. Say that 5 times fast. Pam, I am always up for a challenge. What would you like for me to take, and say 5 times fast? Vitamin D3, not D2. I love a good tongue twister. So challenge me, friends. So
oh my gosh.
Remove the gut triggers, repopulate, repair the lining. Great. And so we've got our glutamine, the vitamin D3, and then the third thing that's in there is omega-3 fatty acids. That is the omegas, okay? And then I've forgotten what the 4th one is, but you're going to tune in another day and I'll teach you all about it. And so
I'll have her back, don't worry.
Yeah. Omega-3 fatty acids is how you repair the lining of the gut. Then if your gut is inflamed, guess what? You have been leaching B vitamins, minerals, all
Right. You're
just
not absorbing.
you're not absorbing it. You're
No.
just it's just falling out of you. It's being eliminated
Right.
from your body. So the fourth R is to restore what's been lost. And that's why you need a multiple vitamin that's going to come in and restore, because I think we all kind of think about, oh yeah, I need a D3 supplement, maybe,
Right.
maybe some vitamin C. But friend, you need zinc, you need manganese, you need magnesium, you need selenium, you need copper, like all of it. And then the last one is my favorite one. It's called Rebalance Your Attitude. Because if you stress out, you're never going to heal your gut. If you are stressed, you will never heal your gut. Rebalance your attitude. Get into parasympathetic mode. Get into a morning routine.
And Lindsey, what you just said, like my husband struggles with that. So people that have long chronic diseases, traumas, that's where people get leaky gut, because they are under so much stress chronically. Yes. That it's really tough. And so you have to be incredibly mindful of this. And I can tell, like, just an ounce of stress literally within minutes. Now, I'm not even exaggerating this. My family can contest to this. Will put my husband into like a state of, it just spirals. And so if there's someone listening tonight, what she just said for leaky gut, you have to understand, if someone, a loved one, yourself, you've been through trauma or you've had a lot of illness, I'm telling you, it will affect that gut very quickly, and even faster and faster the long you've been sick. So It is vital that you even increase, like, would you say increasing like the antibiotics and the mood immediately when you're starting to feel stress, if you've dealt with that leaky gut symptoms? Yes. Would you agree with that?
Well, and here's the thing too. A lot of people ask me, they're like, why do I need probiotics and mentibiotics and GBX Fit? Like, why all of the things? Well, research clearly shows that there is benefit and value into overlapping, alternating, switching the routine, doing something different. And remember, I know we talk about GBX Fit as if it's a weight loss supplement, because it is a weight loss supplement. But the reason it causes weight reduction is because it's reducing inflammation.
Exactly.
It's reducing inflammation. And so
how many can you take of those a day?
2 is all you need. And so 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening is all you need.
But would you recommend, if somebody's really struggling and in that fight or flight mode, could they do 3?
They could do 3 if they wanted to. There's no additive weight loss benefit from it. But if you feel like what you want is to have the probiotic that's in there, if that is going to be causing that reduction in inflammation, and then your phytobiotic that's in GBX Fit is what is helping to reduce stress and help you sleep better.
Oh, wow. So good. Yeah. Bobby just wrote a really interesting message. 1 short burst of anger can take up to 7 hours for your body to recalibrate hormonally and biochemically. That is 7 hours of high cortisol. Wow. That is crazy. It's 7 hours of brain fog for your immune system to regain normal function. I mean, think of it, boy, that just, like, my husband and I joke, Bobby, thank you for summing that up, because we've had this joke, like, since he's been sick. It'll be 9.5 years. We hardly fight. That's the God's honest truth, because Bobby just summed it all up for me. A moment of stress for him does exasperate it, and it's not worth it to me. So we just realized we really want to make him feel like crap, but now I know why, what Bobby just said. And it's true. And I think that's a good mental thing for all of us to realize. Is it really worth getting that upset when we know it's going to affect our bodies like that? It's kind of that mind over matter, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Somebody asked me, the other day, they were just powerful. Like, super hopeful, and I'm not always perfect, because none of us are perfect, but wake up every morning and just decide to have a good day, and just decide that, show up with kindness and with patience and with self-control and with love and with joy. And you can't go wrong if you just keep every single day going like, I'm just going to show up and be loving and kind and peaceful and joyful. And I'm, you want to be screaming over there. Okay. I'm going to have self-control because that ain't my monkey and it ain't my circus. And so you just leave it. You leave it.
It's true. It's true. We have to learn to let stress just go through us and not store it. And what happens is people store it, and then it's just it creates a havoc in our system.
Right. It's
So
holiday.
really the combination that people were doing at the beginning of Amare is people were combining the antibiotics because it's a bitter taste on its own to energy. And then when Edge came out, we started like just kind of all combining it, and people start, I feel happier. And then Happy Juice was born from marketing by my dear friend Bexadic's team. And it's so true because Happy Juice, those three ingredients are really powerful, like powerful, and give them to the kids.
Yes,
right?
Yes. Kids can totally drink Happy Juice. My friend, Kelsey Brigman, she was trying to make a video about Happy Juice, and her little 2-year-old daughter runs through the background of her video and is like, I gotta go poo.
I love it. I love it.
It was so good.
Awesome. I absolutely love it.
Yes.
So,
but hang on. Here's what I want to say. Here's what I want to say.
Go ahead.
Here's what I want to say. Okay. The stuff sells itself, because here's what you're going to tell people about it. If I sent you a collection of 3 products that reduce cortisol, increase serotonin, increase dopamine, increase your, increase GABA, the primary relaxatory neurotransmitter in your body, and decreases central nervous system inflammation, would you be interested? Can I send you a link to it? And if people say no, then they're idiots and you move on. But everybody is going to say yes. Everybody is going to say yes. Like, I'll check out, because everybody knows that they want less cortisol. At least most people know they want less cortisol. I feel like everybody under the sun knows about serotonin, because it's been talked about for so many years, because there are so many drugs that work on serotonin.
Right.
And everybody thinks, if you don't know what dopamine is, here's what I want you to remember. Dopamine is dope, right? This is what people get addicted to when they have addiction. This is what runner's high is. Dopamine is dope. Dopamine is what makes you feel good. And so Bobby says, say that again. I want to write it down. Okay, here we go. And remember, I'm reading you the website in an entertaining way. You can find this if you forget.
I love that.
Yes, you go and find the website. Okay, reduces cortisol, increases serotonin, increases dopamine, increases GABA, and reduces central nervous system inflammation, and also makes your brain more plastic, better able to mold itself and rearrange itself into something more positive. We got so distracted down the xylitol thing. There's a third sweetener that's in the new Edge too. And they called it Katamfe. But friends, another word for it is called the miracle berry. So just call it the miracle berry. Like, it's a miracle.
Works for me. Works
for me. And the miracle berry extract is not even a sugar. It's a protein that is sweet on the palate. And so you aren't getting exposure to additional sugar right there. Okay. And so that is another one of the special sweeteners that is in the new Grape Edge. And then in order to make it taste like grape, Sean put in tartaric acid, which is that puckery grape sensation. And then malic acid is one of the primary acids that is in apples. So you get this like little bit of this like appley, and then you get the straight up tartaric acid, which is what gives grape its flavor. A couple of other things, some people get nervous about the lychee. And so please remember, because some people are allergic to lychee seeds, right?
Right.
But this, it comes from the skin and the pulp and not the seeds.
It's so true. That's a good reminder when people get worried about allergies, and I get it.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a really severe reaction, but most of the time it's not a severe anaphylactic shock reaction.
Right.
It's, hives or rashes or whatever. And so often it's a different part of the plant. You really do have to look into it, because it's not really just because you hear the word, you think that you're allergic to everything in that plant, but there's different parts to it. Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah, totally. Okay, so what makes things allergenic? Proteins. Proteins make things allergenic. We are allergic to proteins. And so oftentimes when you're doing extractions, you don't extract the protein with it. There are extractions where you do, such as the miracle berry extract, but I have people on my team allergic to mangoes that take edge, that are, and so they're just, it's extract and it's mango leaf. It's not the mango itself. Marcy says, I was worried about the lychee fruit, but had no problem with it. And there's another question up in this chat that is one that's near and dear to my heart. Kathy, I had a person who tell me that she can't take antibiotics because she's on so many medications. Did you know that there are about 80 medications that disrupt the microbiome? 80. And I guarantee she's on some of them, because you think about it. So antibiotics are like the classic disruptor of the microbiome.
Right.
One round of antibiotics as a child can disrupt your microbiome for life. Especially if you're taking antibiotics before the age of 3, because before the age of 3, the microbiome hasn't kind of set into what is its primary adult forms. And so this is really important if you can possibly avoid it. And mamas, you're not going to take any shame from me for making the decision that's best for your child. But if you can avoid the antibiotics, do it, and get your kids out and playing in the dirt. Get a pet in the house to diversify their microbiome when they are really young. So there are tons.
What happens, Lindsey, for somebody who has been on antibiotics, whether it's a short time or a long time?
Yeah.
What's the hope for them? Because I know a lot of parents are like, oh my gosh, at one point or time, they've thrown their kid on an antibiotic.
I told a woman earlier today, she had the same thing. She's like, I don't need it. I'm generally healthy. Why do I need probiotics? And I told her, if you're not working on your microbiome, you're destroying it, because we're exposed all day, every day to things that disrupt our microbiome. And so all we need to do is consciously work on our microbiome, and don't get stuck in that ruminating thought pattern about, oh my gosh, Lindsey Elmore just told me I might have disrupted my child's microbiome for life. Don't ignore me. I don't know anything. And so, but you think about
you've disrupted it for life if you don't do anything about it.
Yes, you've
correct. That's really what you meant. It's not like it's, if you don't do anything about it, yes, but it can be restored.
Yes,
that's
it can be
that's the silver lining.
Yeah,
I got your backs. I know all these moms are like,
I know. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Deep breaths. Stress is poisonous to your microbiome. Don't stress.
Yes.
Don't stress. Ask for clarity. Don't stress. Just ask for clarity. And so here is the thing, Kathy, your friend that's on a bunch of medications, if people are on medications that either cause constipation or diarrhea, they're on medications that disrupt their microbiome.
Right.
Any medication that disrupts the pH of the stomach disrupts your microbiome, and also just destroys your magnesium levels, destroys your bones. I mean, just real. I tell people, don't even go down that aisle at the pharmacy. Figure out why you have heartburn. Right? And so medications like metformin disrupt the microbiome. Somebody asked me about, can somebody with type 1 diabetes use happy juice? Yes, absolutely, they can. And here's how I empower people to take care of themselves. If you are taking medications or have a chronic disease, part of your job is to be an empowered owner of your own body. Ask your pharmacist, what are
Yeah.
the side effects of my medicines? How do I know that my levels are too high? How do I know that my levels are too low? If somebody has diabetes, it's important that you are an empowered owner of your own body. What does high blood sugar feel like? And what does low blood sugar feel like? And as long as you're able to monitor, I get this question all the time, as I'm sure you do. Can I use this when I have high blood pressure? Do you know how to monitor your blood pressure? Can I take this while I'm on cholesterol medicines? Do you know how to monitor for signs and symptoms of side effects of your cholesterol medicine? Can I take this with my thyroid medicine? What does low thyroid feel like and what does high thyroid feel like? And can you monitor yourself for both of those? Because ultimately these are supplements, they're not medications, and they are generally safe in most people. And so that's what we need to tell her, Kathy, is she's on so many medicines. I guarantee she's on one that disrupts the microbiome. I guarantee it, just because I'm a pharmacist. I know what drugs people are on. And so tell her if she's not working on her microbiome, she's destroying it. And she's intentionally destroying it, and she's skewing it towards bacteria that you think about. A drug like metformin,
Right.
metformin gets into your gut and actually skews the gut bacteria towards bacteria that make the metformin less effective. And so now you're going from 500 milligrams to 750 to 1,000 to 1,000 twice a day, like, because you're not working on your microbiome.
Yeah. How about type 1 diabetes? I'm seeing that pop up a couple times in the chat.
Can you monitor? Can you monitor? That's it. Can you monitor?
Yep. I know lots of people
Yeah.
that are taking our brand and they just check their blood sugar levels. They, take their insulin and they add our products. And exactly what you said, you have to just pay attention. And I've seen people with great results.
Yes,
very great results.
Yeah,
definitely. So very cool. Oh my gosh, we've covered a lot.
I know.
I got a question on the antibiotics. I want to quick cover that before we talk about collagen and then collagen. Okay, because we've got lots of this is going to be a fun one to label, because we've talked a lot of stuff. But if somebody's been on a long term, I think it was Robin said in our generation, a lot of people were on an antibiotic for skin, for acne. They were on it for a long period of time.
Good old tetracyclines that stained your teeth. I know all about it.
Yep. So if somebody's been on it for a long term, do you recommend a time of detox? Do you recommend a specific protocol, or do you just recommend get on Happy Juice, get on even GBX Fit for skin? What would you recommend for somebody?
So we have on my team had people who have had side effects from the products, and I honestly think side effects are a good thing, because as I was taught in pharmacy school, you show me a product that doesn't have side effects, I'll show you a product that doesn't work, right? And that is important. And so don't be shy. Yeah, don't be shy about, listen, if we talk about side effects, but those are just the effects that we don't like, right? And so you can also talk about the effects that we do like, and those are equally as valid as so the side effect of Edge is that you get lightning focused clarity, and your ability to learn improves, right? And so we need to, Mary Fast says, I had a settling in period. So don't be shy about taking half doses. Dr. Sean also gave me the best advice that I've ever heard about people who know that they are not really healthy at baseline. And it starts with Reboot, which is unfortunately out of stock. But if you can't get Reboot, just run to your local pharmacy, grab some aloe vera or some senna, and it'll get you by until Reboot comes back next month. And take that for 3 days, right? And then 3 times a day for 10 days straight, digestive, digestive,
Yep.
digestive, 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 digestive.
6 a day.
Yes, and it
Yeah.
will transform. I had a
And
friend.
meant to sink. He's told
Yeah.
me meant to sink 6 a day and digestive 6 a day. So if somebody's been on a long-term antibiotic use, you're saying like a reboot, a meant to sink, a digestive, and then add in all of
And
their
then
products.
add in your happy juice. Yes, because
Okay.
we
Did you
want,
hear that all?
yes, we want to be sure that we're not, yes, Pam, Brill, the same for SIBO. If you know somebody has
Yeah.
small intestinal bacterial overgrowth at baseline,
Yeah.
you start them more slowly, because if you have small
Yeah.
intestinal bacterial overgrowth and you start giving the most rock star prebiotics, guess what? We're feeding those bad bacteria.
Right.
Whereas what
So-
we need to do is kill them.
So basically, all of you that want to know about the SIBO, which would be the same for long-term antibiotic use, I have an image made in my Gut Instinct page, my Facebook page called Gut Instinct, that has that protocol on there. Okay.
Yeah.
So just wanted to let you know that you can talk to the person that brought you here. We'll make sure you get that information.
Mhm.
All right. So collagen.
Okay.
It's
Collagen.
a big buzzword. Talk to us about collagen.
No, I'm not a fan. I never have been. First of all, there are a lot of companies that do not have integrity like Amare does. I talked to a friend the other day and she shares her collagen from company X over there. And I look at it and I was like, how are they making these claims? And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, the product only contains type 1 collagen and these claims are related to type 2 collagen. And so first and foremost, if you're planning on using some collagen, at least be sure that you're getting the right one. And so type 1 collagen is for hair, skin, and nails. Type 2 collagen is for your joints, right? And so this company over here was saying like, come use our product for your joints. And I was like, well, it only contains type 1 collagen. So that's not true. And so the other thing that just like, so I don't eat chicken. I stopped eating chicken more than 10 years ago because I got to the point where it just grossed me out. I don't, I think it's,
I raised my own chicken. So when you come out on the farm, I'm going to make you homemade chicken soup.
Okay. All right. I might try it. I'm a little nervous. But to your point, it is in big part factory farming.
Totally. It'll taste totally different, guaranteed.
Grosses me out. So most collagen extracts that are out there are really cheap extracts from chicken sternum, right? So it's not going to be a product for vegans or vegetarians. It's not going to be a quality ingredient. And so Sean and I also talked about this. So if they're using collagen for their skin, GBX Fit has a probiotic strain that helps with wrinkles and inflammation. Okay. So if you put that with superfood and Vita GBX, that's how you accelerate all of the tissue turnover and the connective tissue, which is helping to make your skin bounce back and all the things. If you're talking about collagen for joint health, Relief Plus. How many of you love Relief Plus?
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, I injured my back a couple weeks ago. There were many a day that I took all 12 of those Relief Plus.
I fell down the steps and cracked some ribs, and I'm telling you, it works.
Yeah. Oh,
it works.
Yeah. It is so powerful. And this is another ingredient. You've got Relief Plus has your turmeric and boswellia, like 2 of the most classic anti-inflammatory herbs, and they're not herbs, but supplements out there. But then there's an ingredient called Scutellaria. Make your life easier and call that stuff skullcap, because that's what it is. And then the 4th ingredient to remember is you just remember sneezing. When you think of Relief Plus, you remember Katechu and you remember sneezing. And that is what is making Relief Plus so powerful. And so Relief Plus is an extraordinary supplement because it has been researched, and people who use Relief Plus are going to have reductions in their joint stiffness, joint discomfort, and within just 7 days, you're going to get an improved range of motion from the turmeric, from the frankincense that's in there. You also have bromelain in there, which somebody told me something so epic the other day about bromelain, and now it has escaped my thought process. I told her, I was like, why am I teaching? You go teach. You know this better than I do. But Relief Plus is an extraordinary joint supplement. And so the Relief Plus is going to reduce the joint inflammation and improve range of motion, which is something collagen can't really do. And you just get down to it. And collagen is a cheap and incomplete protein.
Right.
And most of the products out there are just terrible in terms of ingredient quality.
It's really been hyped up. Collagen has been so hyped up. And I feel like the Relief product and what it does to reduce inflammation, especially with all this COVID and long COVID, like that needs to be a necessity, like an essential. I am a Relief, like we go through so much of it in our family, and I don't know how we used to do it without it.
Yeah.
I've got a quick question because somebody had asked it and I want to make sure we get it. Somebody who had asked, and I got to find it here, about the sugars for somebody that has a serious illness, sarcoma, and they're trying to avoid all sugars. Are there any contradictions to the sugars that are derived naturally in, you know, like the Edge products or any of our products?
Well, remember these are not caloric sugars. You know, I feel like Clark Griswold in Christmas Vacation, where he's like, I'm working on a non-nutritive cereal varnish. You know, these are non-nutritive sweeteners. And, you know, just a shout out to green tea. Green tea, if you know someone that's dealing with cancer, the ECGC that is in green tea literally steals the blood supply from tumors, because we all grow tumors inside of our body all of the time, all day, every day. We're all growing tumors, and it is your decisions that help your genes and help your genetic expression to keep them at bay. And so the green tea will literally steal. And so when I did my functional medicine training, we had kind of two marching orders: add turmeric to everything and add green tea to everything. And food is only a vehicle to get more olive oil into your body. So listen, friends, what I want you to do is go and get your GBX protein, right? Because GBX protein is a cleaner and more complete protein source in every way imaginable compared to collagen. And it nourishes the microbiome. So you are going to take your protein, and then I want everybody to link arms with me on a mission. When I first joined Amari, I have this like sick and twisty thing where my favorite thing is to take products that people have never heard of and out of stock them. Let's do this with seed fiber, friends. I am on a
seriously.
It's the best. It's the
seed
best.
fiber is so not talked about, and there's so many amazing components. Anybody that has cancer, when I asked that, Sean, one of my best friends has really bad cancer. Seed fiber, seed fiber, seed fiber. Like seed fiber is so good, and when you mix it in a smoothie, it by itself it doesn't taste good, but when you put it with superfoods, it tastes amazing.
Yes, I know. And superfoods is also like the biggest shapeshifter that I've ever seen in my life, because you open that stuff up and you're like, this stuff kind of stinks and it doesn't look cute. And then you put it in water and all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, this stuff tastes amazing.
Like magic.
It's
like magic. You know, we need to do a shout out to Dr. Sean Talbot. We are so blessed beyond measure that he can formulate, and he is so brilliant at what he does, and so humble and fun and informative. And so I'm telling you, we're very blessed to have him. and formulating these amazing products. And Lindsey, just done a fantastic job tonight of really taking us down some informative information on our products. And I love the interaction with all of you listening tonight. Great questions. Can I have you back on another Tuesday night? Because you're amazing.
Of course. And let me just end by sharing one more thing about seed fiber. And then I think you and I can just pour some life onto people to close out the call.
Perfect.
Fiber nourishes your microbiome because it keeps it hydrated. So fiber in your diet actually hydrates your microbiome. And we are all chronically dehydrated. All of us, you know, we live in a world where we literally surround ourselves with dry walls, right? But our bodies are water. Our bodies are made of water. We're meant to flow. Our tissues are made of water. Our bones are made of water. Yes, there's more stuff there, but water is there is so critical for the overall function of our body. And fiber is going to hydrate your microbiome. So get your GBX protein, get your seed fiber, and make your smoothie. But instead of using water or oat milk or whatever, you put green tea in there. You put green tea in there.
I just learned something new tonight. And I'm a big green tea fanatic.
Yes. So all the green tea,
that's huge in Japan. When we went to Japan, I mean, they have like the green tea ice cream, like everything in Japan is green tea. And there's, you know, here in America, we're just so behind times on many things. Truly, we are from a world perspective of food. But it's funny you say that I'm going to go do that. A green tea smoothie.
Those were our marching instructions. Turmeric in everything, green tea in everything, and food is only a vehicle to get more olive oil in your diet.
Well, you know, you guys, I hope that this really empowers you, that we really have, God made us fearfully and wonderfully, and that we really do have more control over our bodies than we think. And that I agree with everything Lindsey said, that our bodies are constantly having this cell generation turnover, and there are tumors and bad things growing too. And it's just, when you realize that, you don't have to be scared of it, just empower you to make the right choices and to educate your children. I am so sad when I hear parents yell, my kids won't eat it. If you don't set that example for them and stop buying the junk food and start putting in front of them the good food, they're never going to eat it. But eventually their microbiome will start to shift. They'll get hungry and they'll want to eat. And we have to shift over.
And we have to shift our mindset. If a doctor told you your kid has to take this medication, you would make them take that medication, no matter how bitter it is, no matter how much they kicked and screamed. When I hear people say, like, my kids won't take these supplements, they will, if you lead by example and you make it fun. And so when I hear people say that, I'm like, well, that's because you're not thinking about it clearly, right? And I get it. Kids have opinions, but if you make it fun for them and you explore with them, you know, Mary's children, some of hers like the Kids Mood Plus in water, some of it like straight.
Exactly.
Just play around.
Exactly. And you as parents, be the example. Let them see you take it. And every time, like, oh, I just love my happy juice. It makes mom happy. It makes dad happy. Talk to them about it. And pretty soon they're like, well, I want some. And the more that we do a positive turnover, I had one that hated, no matter what I did when she was little, my middle one hated like she hated it in smoothies. She hated it. Didn't matter. It was like a taste thing. And finally I'm like, but you got to take it. She even showed up late for school because I'm like, you're not leaving till you take it. We tried everything. Guess what she learned how to do the next day, Lindsey? She has to swallow the adult stuff. She's like, I'd rather swallow. So like 4 years she was swallowing. She figured it out. So listen, I've been there. I've raised 3. I get it, moms and dads, but we've got to start educating our kids. We're better than this.
Well, and if your kids struggle to swallow capsules, but they don't want the powders, there's an amazing device called an oral flow. It's also going to be super helpful for any of you who have aging parents that are struggling to swallow. So oral flow is this cup that you put your water or whatever down in the bottom, and then there's a chamber that where you put all the supplements in, and then you just drink it back, and it shifts the mind. It shifts the mind.
That's really good, because you just have to find that, is it some like it in thicker smoothies, they can get it down. Some like, I had one kid that loved to swallow the adult stuff with a thick smoothie because they felt like and I'm like, really? I would just want a glass of, but that's what they wanted to do. So you just have to keep being creative. And I love what Laura put, when kids make it, they eat it. That's brilliant advice. Like, gosh, look, I could keep going with you for hours. So can we just have you back? I want to thank you so much, and be mindful of everyone's time, but this was really good.
For sure. And
a lot of nuggets here.
And since I know that you lead with your spirit, I just want everybody to remember there's a lot of good stuff in the Bible about health. And I want you to remember this for tonight: a joyful heart is good medicine, but a bitter spirit dries up the bones. So approach people with joyfulness. Go out there and share with joy, and and be grateful. Like, hey, I didn't have to show up and teach you tonight. I got to show up and teach you tonight. I get to serve you. You, friends, get to serve others. Go out there with a joyful heart of service
and love them. Love people no matter where they're at. If they're not ready, it's okay. Let them see you. Be joyful and continue. And in 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, so many of them come back. So, all right. Thank you, everyone. We love you. God bless you all. Thank you so much, Lindsey. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.